Let me pass down a piece of advice my father once gave me when I was a young lad. Now, insertion of the penis into between another male's buttocks is a highly irregular thing to do. Now, I am not homophobic. However, I don't like the idea of that sort of thing, and it scares me somewhat. So I suppose I am a somewhat homophobic, but I would never disrespect a homosexual man to his face. No, I would wait until he was out of the room before I did this. Now, I have a lot of friends who are homosexual. That doesn't bother me, but what I am comfortable with is that my direct friends are not homosexuals themselves, and that's perfectly fine for me. I do remember my son Dawson. Now, Dawson, he came out of the closet to me when he was about 7 years old, I suppose now. I think it was 7 years old. He was in love with a fairly elderly preacher, the name of Father Bastard. Now, Father Bastard was an awfully strange man. He had a large beard and no hair anywhere. And Dawson really took to this man. Dawson took this man from behind. And I did not know how to discipline him. And I believe this is where my homophobia sets in. Because I never had anything wrong with people being homosexual. They can do what they want. They can do exactly as they want. I don't mind. But when my son raped Father Bastard, I just did not know what to say. And it can bring this fear. You think, are they all like that? And of course, no, they're not. But it brings that kind of fear. You know? It bewilders the mind and the buttocks. And I think that's astonishing. And Dawson, I haven't spoken to Dawson in years now. It's been 20 years since the incident, and he's had all sorts of things done. He grew his hair longer than the ocean itself, and he had a sex change, and then another sex change, and then he invented his own gender and just paid the doctors a lot of money to have this to invent this gender. He calls it the what do we call it now? I believe it was the. No, it slips my mind right now. But this new gender he invented. He said it was hip. It was for emo. He had an operation to turn himself into a emo, which I always thought that emo was a strange form of bird. No, I suppose that's an emu, isn't it? But he was also one of those ones. Well, who wasn't? I was one of those ones. I mean, they're good fun. They're good fun. I mean, all you got to do is flap your wings and you shake your tail, and then you mate in seconds. And I think that is absolutely orgasmic. But Dawson, I haven't seen him. Admittedly, when he was very young and he had touched that priest, I kicked the living shit out of him. It was a horrible thing to do. It was absolutely nasty. But the point is, what he had done was very nasty, so I decided to deliver unto him what he had done to that poor man. Admittedly, that poor man said he enjoyed it, but that's not the point. The point is that Dawson and the preacher had both portrayed stereotypes that aren't always necessarily true, although it will always somewhat confuse you. So, to pass on to you some advice my father left me when I was younger: stay away from inserting your penis, no matter how large it is, into another male's arse, regardless of how large it is. or small. I'm not sure. I'm not in that kind of mind. But just don't be if you are a homosexual man. Obviously, it's not a choice. You were born like it. But don't be a stereotype and lose the bloody lisp, will you? It doesn't come with it. Maybe it does come with it. Last time you exploded, so does your lisp. I don't know. I hate this world. Thank you. Thank you.